Prime Minister Starmer claims repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on its behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of various, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made at Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
What if I told you that the UK's free speech is under attack, and not just from within, but from the highest levels of American politics? Keir Starmer arrived at the White House, expecting a warm welcome. But what happened behind closed doors was nothing short of explosive. J.D. Vance and Donald Trump confronted him about Britain's suppression of free speech, exposing shocking truths that the UK government would rather keep hidden. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, a Labour councillor in the UK made a shocking Nazi salute during a council meeting, sparking nationwide outrage. Meanwhile, drivers in the UK are facing criminal charges over a common insurance tactic, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle may never return to Britain. In today's video, we'll break down these major stories, uncover what Trump and Vance really said to Starmer, and reveal why Labour is facing one of its biggest scandals yet. But first, hit that like button and subscribe, because you won't want to miss this.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days, and we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
It's a nation now that is, removing the security elements on Apple phones so that they can,
We told them you can't do that.
Yeah, Tulsi, I saw.
We actually told them.
Yes.
Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's something, that you hear about with China.
They put people in jail in Britain for praying in their own homes and silently.
But you were having that with Biden too, if you think. And it's not Biden, it was the people that surrounded this stuff.
Last week, Keir Starmer made his highly anticipated visit to the White House, meeting with President Trump and key U.S. officials. But behind the official handshakes and diplomatic smiles, a major clash took place. Trump and his allies directly challenged Starmer on Britain's growing censorship problem, with J.D. Vance accusing the UK government of silencing free speech and even pressuring American companies to censor content. Starmer stood firm, insisting that Britain upholds free speech. But Trump's response was brutal. He and his administration made it clear that they're watching the UK closely, and they won't tolerate British laws interfering with American rights. This rare public rebuke exposed Starmer's weak position, and what happened next has left political analysts stunned. The clash over free speech, J.D. Vance openly confronted Starmer, pointing out cases where UK citizens were arrested for memes and so-called thought crimes. Trump doubled down, calling these laws extreme and comparing them to authoritarian crackdowns seen in China. The U.S. administration hinted at taking action to protect American free speech from UK influence. Labour's Nazi salute scandal Labour councillor Alan Garter shocked the UK with a Nazi salute and fascist remarks during a council meeting. The Labour Party scrambled to control the damage, claiming an investigation is underway. This scandal has fueled accusations that Labour harbors extremist elements, putting further pressure on Starmer. UK drivers facing criminal charges over insurance fraud. Thousands of young drivers are unknowingly breaking the law by using their parents' names to lower insurance costs. Insurance companies are cracking down, with severe penalties including fines and even criminal records. Prince Harry's future in doubt. Amid legal battles over his U.S. visa, reports suggest Harry and Meghan are considering relocating to Canada or Portugal. Trump has made it clear that he won't deport Harry, but the royal family reportedly wants nothing to do with them. Just when Starmer thought his White House visit was over, Trump delivered one final blow. He announced his upcoming second state visit to the UK, a historic move that signals his growing influence over British politics. This puts Starmer in a difficult position. Will he welcome Trump as a respected world leader, or will he face backlash from his own party for cozying up to a man many in Labour despise? Meanwhile, the Labour Party's ongoing scandals, from free speech suppression to the Nazi salute controversy, have left many questioning whether Starmer is truly fit to lead. The UK is facing a political storm like never before. With Trump's return, Labour's growing scandals, and Starmer's weak leadership exposed on the world stage, the coming months will be critical for Britain's future. The battle over free speech is just beginning, and the US is watching closely. What do you think about Trump's confrontation with Starmer? Do you believe free speech is under threat in the UK? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And if you want to support the channel, check out our exclusive British-themed t-shirts at British.com.